What is up, guys? So I get a lot of questions about how do I save battery life, so we're going to go over a few tips here today. So I have two phones and I want to explain something. I have the OnePlus 7 Pro, 4000 milliamp battery, but I have the Galaxy A20. Now you'll get around 8 hours to 30 minutes, 8 hours and 30 minutes on the 7 Pro of screen on time. But with the A10, you could easily get 9 hours and even 10 hours battery life on here. It just depends on how you use it. So same battery sizes, so why are you getting better battery life? Sometimes it comes down to optimization of software. You have Oxygen OS and then you have One UI, and it also comes down to the display. So you have a 720p display on here and you have a 1440p display, so it's going to take up more power. So just do know that usually it's going to come down to those two. What is the battery size and the screen resolution has a lot to do with it. Now there are a few things you can do to get a little bit better battery life, so let's go ahead and go over those. One of the first things is battery saver. So if you want to get more battery life, go to your settings and type in battery saver, and you can go ahead and turn battery saver on. And you can actually set a schedule when you want battery saver to come on. You can base it on the percentage, so 5%, 50%, whatever you want to put it to, and it will go ahead and do that. So basically it will restrict background activities, some visual effects, as you can see. So that's basically, it'll just cut back the performance of the device altogether, which will save battery life. Next is going to be Wi-Fi. So if you're at home or you're somewhere where you have access to Wi-Fi, be sure to turn off your mobile data and turn on your Wi-Fi. Just use your Wi-Fi at home. You don't need both of them on. I see a lot of people just have their mobile data on along with their Wi-Fi. Be sure to turn that off. That's a great way to save battery life as well. Next is NFC. So if you have NFC on your device, it's usually up here in the toggles. It's usually on like that. Go ahead and turn that off, or you can find it in your settings in Bluetooth, and go ahead and turn NFC off. If you don't use NFC for the mobile payments and stuff like that, you will want to turn that off. You will be able to save battery life. NFC, basically, it'll scan. So sometimes when I'm even at the store, it'll pop up on my phone and try to get me to allow the thing. So just, if you're not into the mobile payments, go ahead and turn that off. The next one will be location. So if you don't use or if you're not relying on location, go ahead and turn that off as well. So if you're at home, probably mostly, because when you go out, you might need it for Google Maps or whatever the case may be for certain applications, but usually I have it set to allow only when you're in the app, so it'll only use the location when I'm in that application. It's not allowed to use location in the background. So if you have that option, not all phones have that. You have to go into the settings and kind of mess with that, but go ahead and set that or just turn it off completely. And just to show you in settings, we're just going to go to settings, and as you can see, use location. We're just going to turn that off, or you can turn it off for specific applications, but it would be best to just turn it off completely. Just like I said, if you're at home or whatever and you don't really need it. The next would be brightness. Now screen brightness is probably the best tip on here besides battery saver. I usually keep the brightness at 50 to 75%, and if I'm at home and you have the lights off, you don't need the brightness at max percent while you're in the dark. Turn it off, turn it down, and get used to the screen being a little darker. You might can see fingerprints. I know that's a big problem. People just don't like to see fingerprints, so they want the screen a little brighter, but get used to that. It will save you battery life. So that's a very, very big one, especially for these high resolution smartphones. Next on here is silence your phone. So if you have a little mute switch on here, go ahead and turn that on. So as you can see on the 7 Pro, I have a little mute switch, or you can just hold the volume down, go to silence, just turn it all the way down, or you can go into your sound settings and you can go ahead and turn that down. So basically, if you have your phone on vibrate, if it's beeping and buzzing all the time, using that vibration and stuff, will be able to suck battery life out. So that's good for if you have an AMOLED display or a little LED light, so you don't really need, so you will be able to see that. But if you don't, then of course you're going to want to leave that on. But that is a tip for people who have that LED light or the AMOLED displays. Next is a smaller one, but as you can see, I don't use widgets on my phone a lot. So if you have a lot of widgets on your home screen, doing a whole bunch of animations and refreshing, updating, that is something that's going to suck your battery life a little bit. So be sure to turn those off or delete those widgets. As you can see, maybe one widget or two widgets would be fine. As you can see, I don't really have any, just a standard weather widget, and it's not really doing flashy animations or anything like that. So do consider that if you do use widgets. So that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this was helpful, and I will catch you guys in the next one.